Aloha and welcome to Lucy's Paradise podcast. Today we have a very surprising guest because I had no idea you were coming to Hawaii.
Me either.
But one of my best friends forever and ever, Maddie.
Aloha, nui loa. Thank you guys for having me here. Lucy's a longtime friend, and I'm very grateful to be here to support the podcast. We all know it's going to be big and going places like you always have. Very grateful to be here.
Thank you. Tell me about your life, chicken lady.
Chicken lady, yes. So I have a few chickens. Leaving the island, there are things that don't leave you, and part of that is the love for, animals. Chickens are everywhere here. Anybody who knows that. But I've collected a couple, a few too many. But I have my little home at home, and I'm living in Florida right now. Closest thing I can get to Hawaii, but I would much rather be here with my ohana and my friends. There's so many of
I know it's been like 10 years since you've been back.
It's been a long time, and it was a very unexpected trip. So when I came back, I realized how many people were down for me. Like, they just came and they're like, where you stay? We're coming to get you. And there were a couple of people I had in mind, but I had to see you, Lucy. There was no way I was gonna leave without seeing you.
I know. I was like, what's the
You're
date?
the first person notified, I promise.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, when is she coming? How many days can I call out of work?
Yeah, I'm sick.
What's about to happen?
I may or may not have also done the same thing to be here, but it's worth.
You've had COVID the whole time you've been here, though, so
I'm super sick.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's
whatever my doctor's note says, but it got me 7 days, and it's time to come home and revisit, and to just check in on your friends and touch base. And
yeah, let's talk about growing up in Milani and being little fugitives that we were.
Lucky we live Hawaii. We this is before cameras, before and we always tried to hide everything from our parents. So like, no evidence was ever allowed.
There's no evidence. There's just memories.
I'm pretty sure we've both hiked Stairway to Heaven, not legally. I'm trying to think.
I didn't do it as a kid though.
Not as a kid? No, mm-hmm. I was 17.
I did it recently.
I was 17. I did it. Yeah. My mom had no idea. We snuck out really late at night and did it. But I've also snuck out to go see Pepper in concert with Sublime with Rome, and there are things that I've done that I do not regret. It's what I did not do that I regret. So there's so many beautiful things out here to explore and to adventure, and I think that's what makes us down for danger. Growing up in Milani, we're like, hey,
that's gonna be like the title of the podcast, because when I first met you, I met you at Town Center, and we were meeting up because I was dating one of your friends. So we had like a mutual friend, and she was always like the wild one. Like, you knew you were gonna get in trouble if you hung out with Maddie.
Small kind. Maddie the baddie.
And Maddie the baddie. You could never do any normal plan. There always had to be like an add-on to the plan, which could maybe get you arrested. So
but never,
there's a risk.
If you get caught. We never got caught.
Hanging out with Colonel's daughter over here, and she's the one trying to get everyone in trouble.
True. That's the reason why no one took me to prom. They were so scared of my dad, but they never knew that my mom outranked him. No. No, good. There was good times. I didn't make it to prom. Some of you know that. I made it to the Sheraton in Waikiki, but never made it out of the room. Thanks, UV Blue. Not a good time.
Good times.
But one thing that we were pretty notorious for, Milani kids, is Safeway. We would go into Safeway. Poor Ashley, that's who I came here with. She was supposed to be my distraction. I said, I need you to go fall over or something in Foodland or something. I need you to make it like a distraction, so we could go over and take a bottle and run out. We were like 15, 16.
There were no you went and got a fake ID back then. Like, you went and stole alcohol.
Yes.
And you drank stolen alcohol. Like, that's how it was.
I apologize. I have used my Mchale discount for a long time, but since I'm here, I've paid back Safeway in a way, I think. But, we're all forgiven, right? But we had good memories. Milani is definitely a piece of me that will always be the best part of my memory. The group of people we had, that's just, and it's been 16, 17 years since that initial meetup with you. That's Damn. What makes it wild to me. Like,
it's probably more than that.
I don't like to admit.
because
I'm deep.
Jessica and I have been best friends for 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I became friends with her when she was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And I think I was a senior or something.
Yeah.
And
You were a
so that was like
senior.
15 years. I think I knew you like slightly before that, like a year probably before
So
that.
I'm
So maybe.
30 now. Okay. I still try to think I can jump off Waimea Rock like I used to, but you just make different noises when you jump. Now you're like, oh, it hurts. Everything hurts. Um, Not the same. I still, in my mind and soul, am always going to be what Hawaii made me, always. Um, where I am at now in life, I just know where I need to get back to. And I very much miss being home. I miss my ohana and my holoa, and very grateful to even reminisce down memory road. And talking with you, I'm hearing stories, and Ashley was another one to remind me. She goes, the first time I ever got drunk was with you. And so I'm like hearing my memory lane, and I'm like, wow. I was such a great influence, and I apologize for alcoholism, everybody. I do. I have gone through
It's
my
her fault.
12 steps myself. We've done Celebrate Recovery, and we're drinking water now. And that's why in my adult life, I don't party like, most adults without children do. But, here we are. It's
Yeah,
been
that's
fun.
good. Well, life
Um,
has phases,
it
I think,
does. Yeah. We just started
It
early.
was weirdly part of the culture here, weirdly, which
Yeah.
you don't realize when you're like in it or like you're growing up. Like you don't kind of realize that, like what you're exposed to, until like you look back and you're like, oh my God, I was like 17 watching other
Yes.
uncles be drunk and like it's just like it was like kind of normalized,
Very
and
normalized.
alcohol is glamorized,
It is. Yeah.
enough as it is. That's why I haven't drank for like a year. I've just been kind of over it,
Good. Good.
and yeah,
Except for last night, I did might have.
I don't want to talk about
I'm
that.
still very bad
I'm
influence.
traumatized.
Switch of drinks at the table. All the glasses looked the same to me. They were a little different. Hers was non-alcoholic. She goes, "There's definitely alcohol in this one." I'm like, Lucy, I'm so sorry. I don't try to be
So
that
I
friend.
took so we went to I took them to the Speakeasy in White Sands, which if you haven't gone, you should go check it out. It's
Very
called the
cool.
Green Lady or something. And we all got a drink. Mine was not alcoholic. And of course, my cousin's like, "Oh my God, let's take a picture for Instagram or whatever." And
You're
I
busy
was like
with your
on the
hands. You were
phone.
busy.
I was on
Yeah.
the phone or whatever. So she took both cups and was like, "I'll help you take the picture." And then she switched our cups on accident. And I took a sip of my drink and I was like, "This fucking has alcohol in it.
I
Who
promise.
did this?" I was
It's.
upset.
I promise. I'm really not that friend. I respect sobriety, but accident, small kind. Forgive
It hurt my
me.
feelings.
I just spit on the waitress too. She walked by and she goes, "Is everything okay?" And I'm still laughing so hard. I'm trying not to because I was waiting for you to say
I was like, I
no.
was poisoned.
No, I'm not okay. Not okay. But yeah, things don't change in that much time, do they? It's just like when you meet
No.
up with your friends, you pick up almost the same, the
Where you
energy.
left off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because so it doesn't matter. I could call you once a week. I could call you once a year. Our phone calls are always an hour or more long, and it's always so meaningful and deep. And how we talk to each other is very like deep seated. It's deep rooted. I would even say, like, when you talk to your friends from home, it's not transactional. It's not like, hey, can I get $10, or hey, can I get something from you and I'll give something back to you. It's, how are you doing? How's the family? And we all know each other's family by name. We all know our lives. We know our animals, like our pets by names. She knows that I have too many chickens.
Yeah, I guess you were saying like you've had instances with people where it felt like they're only asking how you're doing because they want something from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you've had friends, especially here, growing up here, it's so different because people are raised very family oriented and like
Yeah.
really genuinely caring about each other. So yeah, I mean, every time I've tried to check in with you, and I remember living in California and like calling you. We won't talk about your
No.
new. Maybe you will talk about your new nickname that you made for me, if you want.
Listen, Leo.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but now I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, I guess. But
And you said a perfect line last night.
did I?
We quoted like Titanic or something. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
forget the line right now, but it was
I
just,
was
I
like
looked at her and I was like, Leo. And
I was
it
like
stuck.
I have air in my lungs, and I think we
Yeah.
were talking about money or something.
Well, I was talking. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be home. I'm just like, listen, as long as I'm here, I have air in my lungs. I woke up this morning, and she said the line perfectly back, and I looked at her, and I was like, okay, Leo. Like, I have a note. What is it? I have a notepad to my name, and air in my lungs. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
good scene in the Titanic for sure. Classic movie. If you've not seen it, I know we are talking to younger generations too.
yeah.
Surprising how many people aren't
Do you think
watching this kind of
there was
stuff.
room on the door for Jack or what?
That is a good question. I think, I mean, if you think about it, like she has this $300 million heart of gold necklace or heart of the ocean necklace that she flies back to, where this whole mission is based on finding this necklace. And she just threw it in the ocean. Like, that's what I'm more upset about. It's like you just ruined their whole conquest of finding this necklace, and the only reason why you threw it in the ocean was to give it to a guy that you only knew for 3 days when you were 17 instead of your whole family and legacy. Like, you'd have been took care of. That's all. But no.
Yeah, I
And
don't
she
know about
actually
that.
got it from the guy she didn't like. So it's silly. It's
Yeah,
silly. But yes, I think there was room on the door.
you
There was
think
room.
so?
But they probably would have been caught together at the end of the movie when he was looking around for the both of them. Yeah. That's
Mm.
my suspicion.
Ooh, they should make like a twist version of
Yes.
Titanic.
I get so upset when on Facebook you're scrolling and you see like the new movies that are gonna come out like 20 years later, and then like you don't know if it's real or not. Like 51st Dates 2, is that real or not? Or then there was another one, the Titanic 2, and I was like, well, it can't sink twice. So I'm
What?
like,
No, just look on IMDb, girl.
I know, yeah,
IMDb is legit. It
yeah.
won't steer
Everything
you.
on the internet is true.
Oh my god, no, it's
No,
not.
she's like, no, please, no.
No, it's not. Please
Definitely not.
question things. Question
Critical
things.
critical thinking is
You
important
have
for
our
sure.
list, our topic
I
list.
do, sure
Yay! I just don't
do.
want to miss any of. Oh, your Budapest story is probably
Budapest story is a good one.
that's a good one.
Of course, the only reason why I left Hawaii was because my mom moved to Belgium, and I was starting to get tight. I was like working 3 jobs just to afford, a small room for rent. So when you're here, it's not vacation when you live here. It is for me right now because I have the time and I'm grateful for my friends making the time. But went to Europe, and my mom and I made a point to travel somewhere for the holidays. She planned the first one successfully to Portugal, which was super fun. And then there was the second trip that I planned, drinking. Budapest is a wonderful place full of art galleries, full of
I'll grab the
spa,
card.
bath houses. It's just, so I made all these plans, made all these reservations. We get on the plane, and I'm like, oh, Bucharest, that's our flight number. We need to get to that plane. It's Ryanair, 15 euro tickets to get there. And we get on the plane, we're there, we land. When we get off, I realized pretty quickly that I was not in Budapest, that I was in Bucharest, which is in Romania. Um, but like in Prague, they call it Praha. So it's like, in the Czech Republic, it's, I'm going to Prague. Okay, Praha. It's like a whole thing. So I thought that might have been the same thing as we landed there, but it wasn't. So last minute.
So all of the reservations were in Budapest,
Yes.
not
Yes.
where they landed.
None of my spa days happened or get to see any fine art. But I did the most American thing you can do. I'm like, Hotel Transylvania, like Count Dracula. And I actually, Count Dracula is real. He was actually called Vlad the Impaler, and he was known for impaling more than 20,000 people in the medieval times. And that's a lot of people in those times because population is very different now than it was then. Beautiful castle, drank blood red wine, played it real cool with my mom like it was on purpose, like it was like this is the plan.
You're
But
like act natural, act natural. Inside, you're like internal panic.
I panicked the whole time. And she knew, I think, especially when we got on the train and there was a bunch of barefoot little bandit kids that were like trying to get into our backpacks and stuff. And she was like, never have I ever wanted to shove a child. And I was like, Mom. But they were
Yeah.
digging in our stuff, no
Wow.
shoes, running around crazy. And that's when I sat there and I was like, I have made a grave mistake. But there is reward with risk, and it was very beautiful. At the time, I followed Anthony Bourdain, And he had been to Brasov, which was where Transylvania region is, and we went to a couple of the restaurants that he had been, and at that time he was living, so it would have been very different if he
That's so
wasn't. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, yeah.
he's definitely somebody to follow, because I remember he said something to the effect of, "Be uncomfortable, sleep on the floor in another
Yeah.
country." Just that's how you find yourself,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's
Learn the
how I
most about
left
yourself.
Hawaii. It's like, when you're landlocked here, you don't even think you're landlocked here. You're from here. You're like, this is home. This is what I know. But the opportunity arose to explore more, and I took it. It's just now taking me to Florida. I own a boat. That's kind of cool. I do go fishing a
That is
lot.
cool. I love fishing.
Yeah, I still get palm trees lined up to my driveway, so it's like home, but it's not the same. It's the transaction and people.
Yeah, it's
It's
the feeling too of like the earth. Like there's so much mana here. Like
yeah,
it's really undeniable.
that's so
Undeniable.
true.
Like every time I fly back here and I get off the plane, it's always when the wind hits me when I'm walking like into like going into the airport. Because you're like kind of outdoors,
They
but
have
you're
that
like
outside,
that ramp thing, and then you have to like walk, across
the
it. That's
baggage
always,
way.
yeah. I mean, I everyone who's flown here, that's always like their first stop is like that little
You
walkway.
get the trade winds. You smell the
But you can just feel that
plumeria.
energy. It's hard to explain. You have
Yes.
to experience it to know.
Yeah.
If you've been to Hawaii, But
If you ever get laid, it's nice to come here and then just have a fresh lay placed on you, and know you're loved and welcomed. And I feel very safe, loved, and protected here. And what better feeling than that to call home when you have people anywhere, and you can just say, "Hey, I'm on this side of the island. Where you stay?" Oh, and then you can just meet up, and it's so genuine, exciting,
yeah.
and lovely. It's brought me back 10 years. I can say that. I feel
Oh
I
wow,
feel alive. I feel like the
that's
mana.
good.
It just
Yeah,
rejuvenates you and reminds
10 years
you.
is way too long.
Wait, I'll
There's
never
no
do it again.
fucking way.
I'll
Yeah.
never do that again. And I don't say no to opportunities. So like this opportunity came. My friend has a very small baby, and she's here for a funeral. Her auntie died, so rest in peace, auntie. But she said, I need help traveling with a baby. It is not friendly to travel with a baby. So we're in TSA. We don't even know how to break down a stroller between the two of us. So that's a travel experience in itself.
Every time I get pat down by TSA on vacation, I'm like, ooh, this is the most I've gotten all vacation. And like I make it real weird. And then this one lady was like, oh, you're buff at. And I was like, are you allowed to say that? Like, can I sue them? Like, what?
I'm offended.
Yeah, because she was like checking my back, or you know how it is when you're like wearing bras and shit. They're like, oh, there's a weapon in there. I'm like, girl, who the fuck am I gonna kill, girl? I just want to get drunk and watch Minions on the plane.
Yeah.
Which I don't drink anymore, so now I just gotta
No.
watch Minions
Well,
sober.
I couldn't even watch Minions.
Or just
The
skip a
flight I
skip
took
a
didn't
movie.
even have the TVs in the back.
What?
Yes, the longest flight here, no TVs.
What?
And I had a baby in my
Hell
lap the whole
no.
time, and it would have just been impossible for her to get here without. So I'm glad that that's
Oh
how
my
I got here.
goodness.
But my goodness, exactly. It was
Hell no.
Yeah, I had to get up and walk around and take laps, and it was like a daytime flight. So when you're in your most busiest, I'm not excited to leave. I'm really not. I'm actually battling it in my head, and I know I have responsibilities to get back to. I have my chickens who are probably missing me, all 30
You gotta
something
FaceTime
of
them later.
I've been getting Snapchats, even like, so I walk to work. I'm like literally 10 steps away from where I work. They built like these medical facilities in my backyard, and my chickens follow me to work. It's
Oh.
like I show up to work like Snow White. Like all the animals
so
in the forest
funny.
are following me. And
Oh.
I've got a couple of my coworkers, they'll let my chickens out, and then they'll send me snaps of them just running around town. They're
That's
like,
so funny.
they're over there by the fire station now. They're sitting outside of where they think you are at work. And I think chickens are cool. It's sweet. It's sweet. They do. They can remember up to 100 faces. They do have emotions. Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that.
They see in like ultraviolet.
Wait, I want to see I want to see our list. I want to make sure we're not missing those first, and then we'll get.
Because we got some good notes.
We got some cardies that we're gonna read off to get deeper. But we kind of organize them in a way so they're pretty decent.
So the first note was growing up together. I think we just
Leonardo DiCaprio.
We touched on that travel story. Drinking is bad.
Drinking is bad. I put that as a note.
Drinking is bad.
Drinking is bad. What was the name of the podcast?
Down for danger.
Maddie always down for danger.
You like come?
Oh, bro, we go.
We can cruise.
She's like in the back seat. You guys want to come with us?
Yeah.
And there's room in the car, and you're just like
Sausage
your
packed.
your
No.
intuition is telling you abso-fucking-lutely not. This girl is
Abso-fucking-lutely.
batshit crazy, but you
No,
want
but see,
to.
You don't know that yet.
You don't know that yet.
That's the thing is you can say anything.
And the
with
ones
a
that know
smile.
it, they're like, let me just give her one more chance. No.
No, they do every time though.
They do every time.
They're like, let's ride in the back of the truck. And they're like, oh, slow down, the potholes are gonna fly out.
Yeah.
So, those are my skinny friends, but I mean, how we all grew up in the back of a truck bed, just driving around the island, and
yeah.
Now there's like super child safety laws everywhere else. They don't have as much fun as we do over here. So
yeah,
take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, you can still ride in a truck here in the back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You drove in a truck today. Guess what I'm doing? I'll stand up and surf them.
Oh my god, don't do that. That I would.
She's like, that's scary. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
I might. So let's pick a couple cards. I know you want to get the icebreakers out of the way.
Yeah.
I think
because they're like easy, right?
They're easy. I think there's like 2 of them. I like how they're color coordinated. That makes life easier. Yeah. So icebreaker. If you had to permanently move to a new country, where would you go and why?
This took me a second to think of, but I think we decided Monaco.
Monaco.
Yeah.
Why Monaco?
But I'd have to have millions of dollars. It's just it's super fucking bougie. If you've ever been there, everyone who lives there pretty much you get born into Monaco because it's like you come from money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gorgeous and I like it. I like different architecture. Yeah, and I don't know, it's just cool.
I think my favorite architecture is in Spain.
Spain is really cool, yes.
La Sagrada Familia, the church that has been built for how many hundreds of years now? It's like still not, it's predicted to be finished in 2027. I think I might go back to see it.
Oh, that would be cool.
It would be very cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
The architecture's name is Gaudi, so very, very into it. I can see that for you. I like that response. I chose Ireland. I'm basic. I was like, listen, Temple Bar.
She was like, where can I drink?
I've been to Guinness, which is shaped like a Guinness glass. The factory there. I've been to Jameson Distillery. And you actually learn a lot, and it's more like palate learning. It's not just let's go get drunk. I'm more.
My friend just went there because she was in Ireland.
Beautiful. It's very.
She's all over Europe right now. I think she's in Paris now. I don't know. I gotta ask her.
It's how quick you can travel. You just take a Flixbus and you're on somewhere else.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I did that. I did work and live in Europe too. So, I worked on military installations. So I made dollars, but my rent was in euros. So that was fun, fluctuating all the time because the euro is definitely stronger than the dollar. But
yeah.
Anytime I had more than like 2 days off, I was on a bus somewhere.
That's
had
good.
to.
Yeah.
Opportunity came.
That's good.
Our second icebreaker. Do you consider yourself to be an extrovert or introvert, and why?
Definitely extrovert. Yeah.
I'm definitely Portuguese. I talk too much over here.
It's perfect.
I'm aware. I'm self-aware, which is good.
Yeah.
So then it leaves deep. I don't know if there's deeper. So I'm like,
that's fine. Yeah, just you could just ask them.
I'll
randomly.
have you pick one. You ready?
Oh, give me like half of them actually. There we go.
One. There you go.
For the first card,
I got the deeper one.
What is your most prized possession? Why?
I would say my
chickens.
My chickens. I do love them, and they do pass away, which is very depressing. And I have definitely called out of work because I'm like, sorry, Martha died today. I can't come in. And can I use bereavement leave for this? Is definitely a no. I've asked. But I would say my most prized possession is my memories. Like I work with a lot of patients.
You talked about that. Yeah.
And as they get older, that's one thing you lose is your memories, and you can forget everything from long term to short term, and being down to your child's names or where you've been or where you're from or even who you are. So my most prized possession is the one thing you can't take from me is my brain, and I know disease can do it, but I have too many precious memories I would not trade for the world, not for a minute, not for a moment. it's something I can dream about, live back on, and remember. And I have really good memories. Like it's beautiful. I have bad memories too. We all do, but you know, the I think positivity is more infectious and powerful than negativity. So if you hold on to the good things, then you're on the right way. You're on the right path for sure.
Yeah, I can't say anything else because there's nothing that's gonna beat memories.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's
I
okay.
think before you asked it the other opposite way, but it's okay. Okay,
Okay, my
your
turn.
turn.
What's your favorite way to spend your birthday?
Yeah, yeah. Like sometimes I've gone out, I've gone big for my birthday, and then sometimes I've just kept it low key.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Last year I kept it pretty low key because I had my podcast party, and that kind of felt like a birthday, kind of, because people were like, it was celebrating like me a little bit. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure. This year I wanna maybe travel somewhere. So we'll
Okay.
see.
I think that's a good idea.
We'll see where like things. We'll see what's happening at that time because
And you're
that's all
an
dependent.
October Scorpio.
October, yep. October
October
22nd.
Oh yeah. I'm a November Scorpio.
Mm.
Stinger. No. I
Well,
think they're
technically I'm a Libra, but
cusp,
whatever.
yeah. Libras are cool too. I We've always gotten along. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, we've always gotten along.
it's just natural. I don't even know how much zodiacs play into it, but I just I know that as a Scorpio I'm spicy and I love it.
Well, people say a lot, but yeah. What was the question again? Because you got to answer it now.
I put it down over here. I think that was the last one. What's your favorite way to spend your birthday? Okay. I try not to anymore. I'm joking, but I
Oh,
just turned 30,
you got to.
so
You gotta celebrate
29.
yourself.
Yeah, it was a big birthday. 29, I was like, if I die right now, my tombstone will say I was still in my 20s. Like, I don't know why it was so depressing to turn 30 for me.
Really?
I don't know why, but it just was a big mile marker. And I just think when you look at it, either 10 years is this way, and instead of in front of you, like it was before. Like when you're 20, you have the whole world at your fingertips. You can do anything, be anything. Now I'm 30 and I know what I'm doing. And I'm doing it every day. And I'm just kind of like I'm in that
I definitely
routine.
spent my 30th birthday, had a big party at my house when I lived on Wheeler.
Oh yeah.
One of my Marine buddies and his buddies were there. My friend Aaron, he passed away shortly after. It was very sad.
Very sad.
But we became like best friends. But I still have videos of us playing beer pong.
That's sweet.
And he was like very upset because he kept missing and I kept getting all the cups and he was like, ah. And,
You're focused though. You're
but
competitive.
it was my birthday too, so they're like, fuck it, if we lose, we lose, you know. But that was my 30th was good.
That's a good birthday.
It was really good, yeah, with some good friends, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good one. So
I definitely had a good 30th birthday. I was just
that's
in my
good.
feels about it though. It was just like we're gonna be 29 again. Like no. I don't really have a problem with age. I think it is beautiful to get older because we do have friends that have passed and didn't get to be 30. So
that's a good point. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. We've all had someone close go too soon, and it's especially Milani, our graduating class. There's not a lot of us left, and it's like why? It's I don't even know. It's
Really?
silly. Yeah.
Well, we graduated different years.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
what year did you graduate?
2012. Do you remember?
Honestly, the fact that you graduated is a fucking miracle.
Listen. It's true. We had a few attendance issues, and
yeah,
it was just too easy because when you go to school, for those of you who are not from Hawaii, your classes are in portables. You get security guards that just go around on a golf cart and with a walkie-talkie, like go check out the bathroom, like whatever.
Yeah.
In that time, you can roll right off posts or not posts, the fences in the back that led to the back road. You just roll right under the fence.
And then back in our day, the tunnels that are behind Milani High School, they never had fences, so we were just drinking in there all the time.
It's definitely burned.
And then Cane's on the corner in Milani was Burger King, and that was like the hangout spot.
Burger King was where we met up in the morning, and we would have like
little breakfast. The morning meetup.
And so we had
team meeting.
We did. We've met up like family. We'd have breakfast in the morning. We would go about our day. We would see recess. There was recess in high school. And then so we would meet up at recess.
My favorite subject.
Mine too. My favorite subject was I had B lunch, but all my friends had A lunch. So I would skip my
Oh yeah,
next
yeah, yeah, yeah.
class
To do
and
2 lunches. Yeah, yeah.
I would show up to A lunch so
That's
I could hang
funny.
out with everybody.
That's so funny.
And then B lunch.
Tell me you're an extrovert without telling me you're an extrovert. When your friends have a different lunch than you, and you have to go to that lunch.
Sorry, I can't be bothered with world history, Mrs. Bonafe. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay, what's something you're weirdly good at?
What am I weirdly good at? I think I'm good at communication. I think I'm pretty transparent in how I feel.
Is that weird though?
Is that I just like to
Is that
talk,
weirdly?
and it's weirdly. It can be. I can get weird.
I guess. I guess for this
Yeah.
generation, we can just say it's weird now to be good at
Because
communicating.
Us growing up, somebody knocked on your door, you got excited. You're like, "Oh, someone's over here!"
Or it was
go
like
outside,
tomorrow
it's like-
skate park 8 a.m.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah, or like the ice palace. That's where all our birthday parties were
Yes.
growing up. It's like,
oh my
yeah,
god,
so-
fucking throwy.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's just you get excited because your friend's coming over, and then now your doorbell rings, and you're like, I didn't order anything from Amazon. Like who's here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me check my Ring camera. Like who's there? Like it's so extroverted, not really, but it can be. The world is still scary. You gotta be cautious. I don't know how, but you do. Yeah, I think you're definitely that one. But what was the question?
What are you weirdly good at?
What are you weirdly good at?
I think like making thumbnails. I've gotten way good at making them. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess people could disagree, but I've had a few people ask me like what program I use and stuff, and I was like, bro, I make them, and they're like, what? So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I've been told they're pretty good. So I was
You
like,
make a business out of it.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I just tried to learn like how to improve and like look at other things. But
always
Your turn.
improve. Yeah. What's your favorite memory of you and your friends, and why?
that's a question we had.
Mm-hmm.
Really? What's your favorite memory of you and your friends and why? So when I turned 21 here on the island, I did 21 rounds of my birthday. So I threw 21 different parties, and if there's a lot of people that know me from back in the day that like might still be on island. If you went to like my going away party, I'm sure you remember it. Taylor was there, Heather and them were there, so I'm sure you were probably there. But it was from like, unless you were gone already, but it was like from sunset to sunrise, and it was $1 to get in. It was open bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I threw it at this guy's house in Waianae that I met the night before, and they had a party. And I said, yo, I want to throw a party tomorrow. And they're like, let's fucking go. And they were super down. We had a fire pit in the backyard. We had a whole band. So first we had a DJ. Bruno Mars's cousin DJ'd.
Mm-hmm.
I
Was that
DJ'd. Jesse,
Yeah,
Bayat.
yeah.
I DJ'd. I took everyone's CDs from their cars, actually. And that's what I used to
remember
DJ.
now. I was like,
And they
I'm
were
trying
like,
to remember.
and they were like, yo, this is my jam. I'm like, no shit, bitch, this is your CD from your car. Like, this is literally your jam. Like, I stole all of your CDs out your cars. Yeah, and those were like the songs I was playing. So yeah, that was insane. And then we had live music after that. Dude, it was such a vibe. It was so vibey. Like, so many people came and went because it was like all night.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite memories. Another one is I threw one on the beach, and to get there you have to follow the glow sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And so one dude that I didn't know ended up coming and picking up all the glow sticks.
Why?
No, but he said, hey, but everyone was already there. So he was like, well, now the cops can't find us. And I was like,
Okay.
shit, bet.
That's a good reason why.
Yeah, so he picked him up. I was kind of pissed at first, but then I was like, okay, that's a good
Did you
point.
see my reaction? I was like, why? What are you saying?
Yeah. But I was like, all
That
right,
makes
it's fine.
sense. So that's
Everybody
because
was
you
there.
don't want to be caught, but
No, we weren't gonna
but
be.
it's definitely
What
easy.
are they gonna do?
You could be from here, but it's definitely
We
easy
could
to
definitely
get
have
lost.
gotten caught for underage drinking 100%. but we
it.
didn't.
We all did.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Is it whose turn? My turn? Your turn?
I swear you picked different ones, but it's fine. What is your most impressive skill?
That was one yesterday.
Really, was it?
Yeah. We were talking about what skill we had.
What was mine?
I don't know. I'm trying to
Leo
remember.
DiCaprio involvement?
No,
kidding.
I called you Rico Suave. That's your skill.
Rico Suave.
Rico Suave. There's something about Lucy. Let me tell you. I have known, like, since Milani Town Center, I've known her, and she's very charismatic, her skill, her strength is not, it's like, mine's gift of gab. You have like this like
I have gift of gab too.
this like really like you're like a magnet. Like people are drawn to you, like almost like a moth to a flame. It's like, oh, Lucy's here. Where you say? And then you have to be around you. You have to have a conversation with you. Like your energy is just so strong, and it's good, and it's exciting, and it's like I said, you were the first person I messaged when I was coming home. I was like, I'm gonna see her. She's there. We're gonna be there at the same time. You're definitely one of those influencer people who you're the life of the party, almost like the air in the lungs. And I mean that because
Aww.
you've been solid for a long time for me. And I don't know you, I know you got relationships. I can't go anywhere with you without someone going, oh, Lucy, how's it? And everybody knows you. Everybody knows who you are. And I was talking about somebody yesterday, and I was like, "Wait, you know them too?" And she was like, "Yeah, they used to buy alcohol for us." And I'm like, "Oh yeah," like, and it's just we
Not
see
buy, steal. Nobody bought shit for
I
us.
try to make it sound better than
Yeah.
it is. Yes, thanks, Bird. You know who you are. It's a good time, good memories. But next question: if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Did we do that one? I think it was if you could move to a different country, but if you could live anywhere in the world, those are like the same.
Nah, fuck that question.
Yeah.
I like this one. See, these are different. If a genie gave you 3 wishes, what would they be?
Ooh. So backstory: we did a podcast yesterday, and audio didn't work, and we had these cards set out, and then I like to clean up, so I put the cards back, and I found the first ones on top, so I took them again. So they might be a couple of different questions.
Oh, it's okay.
3 wishes.
A genie gave you 3 wishes.
There's always rules to those wishes, but
you just got to use up the 3 wishes.
Yeah.
You can't like wish for
you
more
can't wish
wishes.
for more wishes, I wish to have peace in my life, no chaos, no more, just to have internal peace. And I know that's something I can accomplish, so I don't really need a genie, but there's a lot of more work on myself. I wish that where I live, or no matter where I live, because you got to be careful with wishes. That's how they get you, how you word it.
Yeah.
I wish that no matter where I live, I could have agricultural animals or like unlimited livestock, so that way it's not a problem if I have more than 6 chickens, or code enforcement can just stay all the way away from me, because my chickens are everything.
I feel like you'd want to live in like Missouri and just buy a bunch of land there.
Missouri, no,
or something,
nah.
Well, just because your neighbors are so far away.
I like that, but I would just rather be like Big Island, like Hilo side, like where it's still country, still home, still access to everybody. You can island hop,
Yeah, that's true.
People can come see me,
Yeah.
But
and the weather just stays consistent.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing for me. I don't like the cold.
So. I was in Fort Leavenworth for one of my parents.
That's where I went to basic training.
Oh, you know about Fort Leavenworth then.
Bro, I had to march in the freezing fucking cold. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have hypothermia, guys.
This is the Lewis and Clark Trail. They already did this for us.
My ass ain't Sacagawea. Why the fuck am I over here trying to fucking?
I don't know where I'm going.
The fuck? And then they're like, all right, get in a firing position. I'm like, ain't no one attacking us. Like, what the fuck? We just walking for no reason.
It's flat, gray, and boring. Bro. Yeah, not the space.
Between us, who's more cautious? We know that answer.
That's needless to say.
I'm definitely more cautious.
I'm a free diver. Let's go.
Someone would be like, "Here, Maddie, drink this," and she'll be like, "Okay," and then she'll drink it, and I could be like, "That's aloe water." Like, you didn't even know.
That a little brackish to me.
Yeah. Oh wait, did you answer the 3 wishes?
3 wishes. So that
2.
was
2. You answered 2. Sorry.
Of course, enough money to bring home. I think I just want to bring the money home. I want to have unlimited funds to where I don't have to stress or struggle. I can help people as much as
they always say more money, more problems.
More money, more problems. It is more money, more problems. Because more money, you buy a house, your house fall apart. You got to spend more money for fix them. So yeah, that would be mine. What are your 3 wishes?
I think I would wish for my dad to be alive again.
Yeah.
I think that I'd have to use one on that.
That's a good wish.
Yeah.
Your dad was a really good man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He really was.
Very much missed.
Other ones, probably like money and maybe that Nobu could live forever. That'd be cool.
Nobu has to live forever too, or
Yeah.
at least be tied in with your life,
Yeah.
so that way he's not alone when you go.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna love Nobu like you do.
Oh,
You know,
thank you.
that's like a fact. Like you can't
Yeah.
just like.
It's selfish to have him forever, but I'm like he'll be a vampire dog or something. I don't know.
What is it like? The Pet Sanctuary, Franken Pets, or whatever. Frankenweenie. I'm trying to remember the movie. Gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I mentioned my dad, and you look like you're gonna cry.
Well, your dad was sweet. Your dad was very good to me, very welcoming. And that was a Super Bowl party that I was the only one that wasn't a family member. Like not.
I brought her to a Super Bowl party at my auntie's house, and everyone thought we were dating, and we just thought it was funny. And my dad really liked you.
I really liked your dad. He was funny, and he always played jokes. So like he tried to say something like funny that would like get me to react, and then I like got him back, and then he was just laughing so hard, and I was like, oh, he thinks I'm funny.
Yeah, he's cool. A jokester. He always was playing jokes.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Kidding around.
And I remember in that time, we were talking. I remember that phone call, and I was just like, oh, Lucy, that's hard. So always check on your friends. You've been handling it well, but that's a good wish to have, because our parents have made us. They've made us, love the things we love and do things like traditional wise. We'll carry on.
And I don't know that like, because obviously I don't know, wishes might not even be a thing, but obviously, but I'm just saying like I don't know how like what the rules would be if you could get wishes, right? Like if it could be a thing, they might be like, oh, we can't like bring people back, but if it were like for a day or a night or something, that would be cool, because the hardest thing is like trying to go back into my memories and like replay all the memories I remember over and over, remember every detail, because I don't want to forget any of them.
It's scary,
Yeah. So
most prized possession, memories. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
If you had one more day with your dad, just you and him, what would you do?
we'd probably walk around the swap meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel very connected to him there. That's where a lot of my memories with him are at. And I've had the dreams I've had of him have been there. Yeah. So I've had one dream of him where he was like showing me that he was in the afterlife gambling.
Stay strong.
My dad always wanted to go to Vegas.
Uncle,
he always wanted to go to Vegas.
I know.
Always wanted to go to Vegas. And like so when he was in the hospital, he was like trying to get out of the bed. Where are you going? I want to go to Vegas.
You're fall risk, sir. Sit down.
Bitch, you can't go to Vegas right now. Like, what the fuck you doing? Lay the fuck down, crazy. But he always wanted to go to Vegas. I fucking hate Vegas, so
I've never been.
That's where we differ, because there's way too much negative energy over there for me. Yeah, $10,000 table at Tris, I'm out. I fucking left that bitch. I was like, I don't care how much this shit costs, I'm out of here.
No.
Yeah, I can't do the energy over there. Too much dark energy.
Oh yeah, and when you feel it, I think growing up here, like you said, there's a lot of mana here, so you feel like good energy.
Good, but it's good. Yeah.
And powerful, and then when you go somewhere else, you're sensitive. You almost have like a.
I think so. I don't think everybody has that. I think a lot of my guy friends who want to go ghost hunting and are like, oh yeah, I'll go in that creepy ass cave hole. Like I think there are people that are not as intuitive for sure. So not everybody has that.
You ever heard of the Limu lady? Oh my goodness.
The what?
Do you remember that camp over by Mchale? Was it Camp Erdman? I'm trying to remember the Y. I worked for the Y.
Camp Erdman probably, but say the lady's name again?
The Limu lady. So we were telling like campfire stories, and like we had tents because we were camping there. We had tents and we were by the beach, and we were sitting around the campfire talking about like the Limu lady. Like she comes out of the ocean and she drags children into the sea as like a sacrifice.
Oh no, I never heard of that.
You never heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up. It probably was a prank, because I woke up and my sleeping bag was getting waves, and I was like, somebody pulled me out here. I was like, the Limu lady trying to come get me.
Oh my god!
I'm still getting like goosebumps thinking about it, but it was probably totally my friends messing with me.
Probably. I never heard that, but
there's definitely lots of things here on island that are like scary that I would.
There's some real urban legends for sure. I think. Yeah. What time are we at?
We are.
Because I don't have a
12:06.
Oh shit. Okay. One more.
Okay. One more.
Go ahead. You pick.
What single choices had the biggest impact in your life?
What single choice? The biggest impact. That's a hard one. I'm probably gonna have a two-part answer to this. One of them, I think, was leaving Hawaii. When I was 21, I got the opportunity to leave. My sister needed some help, and just to preface the story, I spent a lot of my time from 16 to 21 taking care of my dad when he had cancer. So when I got the opportunity to leave Island, I just finished my college semester and I was kind of getting island fever. Um, and it was scary. Like, I mean, I didn't have any friends, so I had to like remake friends all over. And sometimes that can be a lot. I definitely was in and out of like phases of depression where I would just sleep a lot. But I encourage people to do that, even if you do have those periods where you're like, oh, I don't, you do get those little lulls of depression, right? Of like, but I encourage people to do that, especially when you're in your 20s, if you have the opportunity to go live somewhere where somebody's willing to like help out or whatever, so you can have these new experiences and make friends in a new place. I encourage that because if I never did that, if I never made that choice, I wouldn't have experienced a lot of the stuff that really made me who I am. So that choice specifically, I'm very, very thankful for. And then I also got to help, hang out and shape my nephews who are just incredible humans now. So, that time I'll never be able to get back, right?
And they were little.
And they were younger, yeah. And now they're like, one's in college
Don't tell me
and
that.
one's about to graduate from high school. So that right there, the other decision it was like to get divorced, and I say that only because like sometimes walking away from something is just as hard as walking towards something good, right? Walking away from something, even if it's good or bad, it can be difficult, and it's also very scary to like realize that you're going into a phase of being by yourself and starting over, and there's a lot of unknowns, like what is this going to look like? There's a lot of emotional shit that goes with that. But no matter how negative or sad or whatever things get, it's interesting because when you are at the bottom, I always tell myself like, well, there's no place to go but up now.
Right. We started over.
Yeah. So there's always gonna, and I encourage people to remember that, like when you're going through something and it's not a good time and it's a dark time, is that there's gonna be the opposite of that, and it's gonna come. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and sometimes it takes, a lot more worse before it gets better, but it always gets better.
Always.
So
yeah, it's what you make of it too in your mindset, because if you can't, you already can't. You've already stopped yourself.
Yeah. And what about you?
My life's decision, I did move to
leaving
Florida.
Too.
It is definitely leaving Hawaii. But I did it in an excited, like you said, we're going somewhere. I'm going to Europe.
You were a lot younger, yeah.
So I ran around Europe, and I was about 26 when I moved to Florida. And it was because my Lola was getting older and she wanted to go to the Philippines. So I was like, yeah, I'll go to the Philippines with my Lola. I ended up taking care of her. She did pass last March, which it still affects me to this day. But in her honor, I learned how to make lumpia and pancit. And I did that last week, and I felt like I channeled her, but I could also like hear her like, what you doing? You did that wrong. Like I could hear her still criticizing me, because that's what all Lolas do. We love them. That's part of who they are. That's part of making
They're
us.
supposed to tell you you're ugly.
You're awful. They do better, because they just want us to do better than they are. And she's a hard act to follow. She did a lot in her life, and I'm sure I will write a book about her one day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You should.
Her name was Cora. So in memory of Cora, we miss you, we love you, and I'm grateful I had that time with you in Florida, but now I'm still there, and so thank you for giving the opportunity to send me back home. I think there's Mana here, and she's here too. So yeah. Grandmas are everything,
They're like the backbone of the family.
Oh, for sure.
Of people's families. Like, yeah, I feel like it hasn't been the same since my grandma passed. Like it's always such a jolt.
It is. It's a good way.
But
we gotta end it on a good note. So
we will.
Things. We're gonna keep moving forward and keep following life, and we're resilient because we've had to be, but we're gonna be resilient because now we want to be.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sharing some of your stories.
Aloha, nui loa. Thank you guys for watching.
Stay away from the danger zone.
No drinking.
No drinking allowed. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching Lucy's Paradise podcast. Please like and subscribe, and aloha.
Aloha.